make sure you give yourself lots of room. Now remember, when we do equal value, you have to make everything say y equals mx plus b. And this is not in y equals mx plus b. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to move my 3x's over. And then I'm going to have 2y equals negative 3x minus 8. Am I done? No, because I don't want what 2y is, I want what y is. So, I'm going to divide everything by 2. And I'm going to, kind of circle this in green so you guys can see that's what it looks like. Now notice, I have not done anything to solving the problem. The only thing I've done is I've made this look like y equals mx plus b. That's it. I've just rearranged all the pieces and said, okay, that's what the first one is. Now, remember, draw yourself a line there, and I want you guys to do the exact same thing, but with that second equation. See if you can turn it into y equals mx plus b, okay? Try that second one. See if you're going to just start off the same way. Move your 3x's over, and we'll see what happens. It's pretty much, it's almost the same. You just have to watch your positive and negatives. Okay, when you finish, check your answer with mine. Remember, all we're doing is moving pieces around, because I want to make sure I have everything in y equals mx plus b form. Okay, notice, finally, I can use equal value, because equal value states that at the point of intersection y equals y, which means I can now set these two equal to each other, which is going to be negative 3/2 x minus 4 equal to 3/2 x plus 2. And now you're right back to our warm-up, okay? Remember warm-up station C? That it was exactly the same problem. See if you guys can now take it from here and solve for x. Okay, see if you guys can solve for x just like maybe, I don't know how charged it is. I use the charger, I don't know how many fractions. Okay. Now you guys know me, I don't like anything that has to do with fractions, so I'm going to multiply everything by 2 to get rid of it. So you should end up with negative 3x minus 8 equals 3x plus 4. I'm going to move all my x's to the left-hand side. And you should be getting negative 6x equals 12, which means we know that x equals negative 2. Okay. Nice. But as you guys know, we can't just leave it there. We can't leave it there because it's a coordinate point. Oh, so in the middle here, I'm going to go back and I'm going to find my y. Okay, so I'm going to find my y here. Find y. Now, this one is difficult because of the way the equations are written. Both of those equations are not in friendly. So I'm going to use this top one. So I'm going to get 3, let's do this. So I'm going to get 3 times x plus 2y equals a negative 8. Well, and we just found that x is negative 2. So I'm just plugging in negative 2 there. So I get negative 6 plus 2y equals negative 8, which means I get 2y equals negative 2, y equals negative 1. Okay, just like last week. How many of you enjoyed this process? Yeah, it's okay? It's okay. If you really like your algebra, this is okay. Now remember, if you choose to use equal value method and only equal value method, it's okay. You can find the answers only using equal value method. But just be ready that it could take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 steps to find your answer, which is okay. So if you like equal value method and that's all you want to use, just note that this part's going to be a little bit much, okay? That's all you have to know. So the question is what do you guys think? Do you think there could be an easier way to do this one? Some of you are nodding your head yes. Okay, let's go and see if we can find this in a little bit less than 11 steps. All right, let's scroll down here. Avoiding the mess. Well, what happens in this problem? Well, just like last week, are any of the equations in y equals mx plus b form? Or any of them?
What do you mean, like, before or after?
Before.
Oh, no.
Yeah, good, I know, there's none. So, no equations. No equations are in y equals mx plus b form. And that is what makes equal value method more difficult. Because you have to spend your time turning it all into y equals mx plus b, and then you get to the end and you're like, ugh, that was a lot of extra work. So is there an easier way? Yes. Today, what you are doing, it's called elimination method. So this is the third and final method of solving systems of equations. Now, remember, the Algebra 1 teachers are never going to tell you, oh, you have to use substitution, or you have to use equal value. We're going to let you guys pick and decide which one you want to use. Okay? So, we're going to look at elimination method today. So in that blank, the first thing I'm going to have you do, I will rewrite elimination, but the first thing I'm going to have you do is rewrite the system. Elimination. Normally you don't have to rewrite the system, but today, just this part, I'm going to have you. So you had 3x plus 2y equals negative 8. Then you have 3x minus 2y equals negative 4. Okay. So when we started this problem, the first thing we did is we rearranged all the parts to say, let's use equal value. But we're not going to do that. So here's what I want you to do. I want to use a different blue. Maybe I'll use this blue. Well, I can't see that. I'll use pink. All I want you to do is to draw a line and now add the two equations together. See if you can do that, okay? This is Jenny Tiger. Hey, yeah. Even from last week, tell him to keep looking like she should have given it to him last week. So have him scroll down and look for O'Day, or in search, have him type in O'Day and it should pop up. If it doesn't, it's okay. Okay, thank you. Okay, what happened when you guys added this? What's 3x and 3x?
6x.
What happens here?
They cancel out.
Oh my gosh, they cancel out, you guys. Is that not amazing? Because now, this is negative 12, and how do you find x equals negative 2? How many steps did that take us? 2? 2. I don't know about you guys, But that's the system I want to do. Okay, now I'm not going to have you go back and find y, because we already know what y is. But isn't that, so I turn everything into elimination, guys. I solve everything through elimination. All right, what I want you guys to do is turn your page over, okay? And I want you guys to try A. Now remember what you're doing. You're drawing a line and you're adding those together, okay? And then see if you can find x and y. Remember, you're adding the two equations together. Well, this is what I have, but it's not, it's not like the same as an DIE. I mean, it's close, but it's not exact. And I don't have any more math. You're sure? If it doesn't work, let me know, because both Hogsett and Jones said they had some extra DIE words that they haven't checked out yet. Okay.
I'll send this to you, this will work for us.
If it
Thank you
works,
very much.
absolutely. If it doesn't, let me know, and I can get another one.
Thank you so
Yes.
much. I appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. Come on. Come on. Good. What's the next step? So this is still a negative. There you go. Yep, now you gotta find x. If it doesn't work, we can figure it out. Don't use it. I wouldn't want you. Find x. All right, guys. How'd we do? Okay, but now you gotta go back and find y. Remember, when you find x,
I found y.
or find x, now go back and find it. You should get just 4. Be careful, you should just get positive 4 on that guy, okay? Because this gives you negative y equals negative 4, so y equals 4. Now I will tell you, the one drawback to this method is having to go back and find the other variable. It's not as easy, it's not as nice. But you can still do it. You're just going to go back and you're going to do 2 times y minus x equals 5. We already know that that's 4. So I get 8 minus x equals 5. I get negative x equals negative 3, so x equals 3. So your coordinate point is going to be 3, 4. Guys, everybody needs to put their phones away. This is not helping you. Trust me, you can't be on your phone and learning math at the same time. It doesn't work out so well. I will tell you what I tell my Algebra 3 kids. You're on your phone, don't ask me for help later, okay? That's how I handle Algebra 3 kids. Algebra 1 is a little different. Okay, I want you guys to try B. It is that easy. Put your line on and add them up. So be careful here. This is correct. But when you divide by 2, be careful. What's 6a plus 4a? There you go. Okay. See what you get. Once you finish this one, we're probably not going to have time. We're not going to have time to do all of this, but we have a couple more challenges we've got to work through. Very good. See if you can figure out C. There you go. There you go. Okay, so which one are you going to figure out B with? Which one are you going to plug it in, the top or the bottom? Okay, so plug that 2 back in, right? And you get 8. So what's 17 minus 8?
Minus?
Because this is, remember, you just told me A is 2, right? So then you get 4 times 2 plus B equals 17. So you get B equals 17 minus 8. What is that? Yeah. So your point here should be 2, 9. And if you don't have an X and a Y, don't worry about it. You will just put it as A and a B. Okay? 2, 9. Perfect. Okay, we are not going to do the story problem yet. We're going to see if we get to it because there's a couple other problems that I want you guys to try first. Okay, so turn your page over to the one that says challenges. Because of course this is Algebra 1, so we have to have challenges. And what I want you guys to look at is this one. And here's where I'm going to kind of zoom in even more. So I want you guys to see this piece here. All right, what happens when you get to a problem like this, and you know you're going to use elimination, because do you guys see how the x's line up, the y's line up, the numbers line up? That's how you know when to use elimination, because everything is on the same side and lined up. So for you guys, you were like, oh, well, Mrs. Tappan told me when that happens, I just draw my line and I add them. Okay, so add those two together and see what you get. Do this on the top one, so you're good, Levi. Just wait and we're going to see. Because what happens? Yeah, 2x plus 2x is 4x. 7y plus 3y is 10y. And 13 plus 5 is 18. What's the problem? Yeah, nothing was eliminated. That's the entire point of elimination. Nothing goes away. Nothing is eliminated. So what do you guys think? Does that mean that I can't use elimination method? Do I have to go back and use? Yeah, absolutely. We can. Okay, so on this second round right here. So on this second, we can. What would have been perfect? If we were, let's get rid of the x's. What would have been perfect if I could get rid of the x's? What would this x need to be? Yeah, it would have to be a negative 2x, because if I took 2x minus 2x, that would work out perfectly. Well, can we make it negative? Why not? What happens if we multiply by negative 1? Well, remember, this is algebra, so if I multiply one thing by negative 1, I have to do everything by negative 1. Okay, so let's try that. All right, off here to the left, I'm going to rewrite this. Notice, I did nothing to the top equation. Nothing. But the bottom equation, I said 2x times a negative 1 is a negative 2x. Then I get a negative 3y, and I get a negative 5. Now add them together and see what you get. Just because it doesn't work out right the first time doesn't mean you can't tweak it just a little bit to get you what you need the second time around. So those go away. And now you're left with 4y equals 8. Which means you're left with y equal to 2. Okay. Let's go back and see if we can find x now. It doesn't matter which one you find, but let's go back and find x. I get 2x plus 7 times y, which is 2. Equals 13. So I get 2x plus 14 equals 13. This works out nice. You just subtract over 14 and look at what you have. 2x equals negative 1. Ooh, but what does that mean for our answer?
It's going to be a decimal fraction.
Yeah, it's going to be a decimal fraction. Does that matter? No. Okay. So just be aware, your answer, x is a negative 1/2, your y is 2. Make sure you write it like that. Don't be confused just because we found y first. You don't list it first. Okay? So when you do elimination, sometimes you have to kind of massage or take care of one. It doesn't work out perfectly the first time, but you can always change it so it makes sense. Okay, I'm gonna have you guys try one of these, and then I'm gonna give you your next challenge. All right, try A. Now notice, if you just drew your line and added A, it's not going to work out nice. So think about, what do you have to do to one of those equations to make it work? Okay? It doesn't matter which one, but see if you can make it work. The hardest part for students when they do elimination is they forget to multiply everything. Make sure you multiply everything and then add. So do you notice if you add right away how the x and the y doesn't go away? You need one of them to go away. So do you see? Yes, but I like how you wrote it in there. So now what is, there's your 1x, but what's 4y minus 4y? There you go. And you should just get x equal to -1 on this guy. Good, try B. So what's your y now? Go back and find your y. I agree, so now find your y. What's your y? So you get x equal, yeah, so see if you can go backwards and find your, you should get x equal to -1, what would your y then be? You have to pick one of the originals. Nice. Good. So now pick which one, it doesn't matter which one, okay? And then substitute in x equals -1, and you got it. Just be careful here, you found x equal to -1. So you have to plug in -1 for x, okay? I know that is tempting, especially when we go back and forth. So on this guy, you should get -1, 1. All right, I have a few more challenges for you. But so far, how are you liking elimination? Pretty good? Easy? Hard? What do you think? Okay. I will tell you right now, I rarely use equal value or substitution when I find intersections. I normally turn everything into this type of problem. Okay? Oh. Okay. Last few challenges. So turn this over to the very back page where it says a new challenge. So here is our new challenge. There is a typo on A, cross out 17 and make that say 22, okay? That was a typo. All right, now, if I add these right now, will anything eliminate? If I draw my line and say add them up, will anything go away? No. So, what would be perfect though? Let's pretend we're not going to get rid of the x first. Let's get rid of the y first. What would this bottom number have to be in order for those to cancel out? 4. A 4. Well, it's not a 4, but can I make it a 4? Sure. What do I have to multiply by to make it a... It's already negative, so I don't have to worry about the negative. 2. Yeah, I have to multiply by 2. Just be careful. You have to multiply everything by 2. So again, I rewrite my first equation. 7x plus 4y equals 22. I didn't do anything to that top equation. But I need to do something to that second equation to make this work. So I'm going to multiply by 2. So 3x times 2 is 6x. Then I take -2 times 2. There it is. There's my minus 4y. 15 times 2 is 30. Now I want you guys to add that together and see what happens. Your y on this turns out to be nice. Your x is not so nice. It'll be a decimal, okay? So be careful here, that'll give you 13x, and that'll be 22 plus 30. I know it's hard when there's a lot of negatives in there. Yep. You should get down to a place where it says 13x, 7x plus 6x is 13x, those go away, equal 52. So now, think about what's 52 divided by 13. You should get a nice number. Avery, what did you get when you took 52 divided by 13? 4. Okay. So you get x equal to 4. Ugh, but now I have to go back and find out my y. It's the hardest part with elimination. So I'm going to find y. I get 7 times x plus 4y equals 22. But my x is 4. Okay, solve from there. You will get a decimal or a fraction. You can leave it as a fraction. See what you get. Okay. Again, I just picked the top equation to go back and find my y, but you could have picked the second equation. Okay, so now I want you to try b. So x will actually be 4 when you do this. Because be careful, we're not multiplying by a negative, so that's a positive. That is already negative, so we don't have to change any of the signs, okay? So that's where that comes from. Now see, what about y? See what you get. That actually... Yeah, I can see it, that's crazy. Oh, there you go. So right here, subtract over 28. Do that first. Subtract 28 first and then divide by 4. Yeah, you gotta move that 28 to the other side. So subtract both by 28 from both sides. Yeah, if you have finished that guy, or 6, try B. So you've got 3 negative 1, or 3, 1. Okay, so you decided to multiply by 2, which I agree with. So you should get 2x. The y's go away. So be careful here. What's 2x plus 3x? Yeah, you'll get a 5x on that side. Okay, so what I'm going to have you try is the ultimate challenge, which is C. So sometimes you have to multiply both equations by different numbers. Okay, so see if you can find that. Yeah, nice done. Okay, see if you can find B now. All right, you should be getting for this A, which a lot of you have, you should be getting 4 negative 3 halves. Or if you put negative 1.5, that works. Okay, what I want you guys to try next is B. Think about what would you multiply by in order to get that answer. When you're done, see if you get it right, okay? But leave it here to see if you can find B. We have like 3 minutes left in class. So, yeah. Okay, so you will not get a decimal for B. We'll be careful because what's 4 times 2? Yeah. Make sure you write them all out. Okay. Try B, see what you get.